Now we talk about the Olympics next. As the Olympics loom large, moves are afoot to get more people from minority faith communities involved. Sporting Equals believes minority ethnic groups have a perception their faith prevents them from doing sport, and they're aiming to change that. They think decisions like the one FIFA made about the Iranian women's team not being able to take part in an Olympic qualifier because they're wearing headscarves is sending out a negative message. David Mbazia is from Sporting Equals and joins me in the studio. Hi, David.
Morning.
Good to see you. So, tell me more about why your faith can be an obstacle to doing sport. Because, you know, when you first think about it, you think, well, how could that be a problem? Explain to us.
Well, I think that there's a perception that faith is incompatible with sport, and I think that's the issue. I think people see people from perhaps diverse backgrounds, but not only diverse backgrounds, and say, you know, but they're not interested in sport. You know, and that might be someone from a Muslim background, that might be someone from a Jewish...
Why, though? Where does that come from?
I think that it's perhaps participation levels, you know, it's perhaps current levels of engagement. There may not have been, you know, they don't see a lot of these individuals from diverse backgrounds currently utilising mainstream services. And I think the reason for that actually explains what the issue is that there are cultural sensitivities around this issue. And so when you have, as we do have, open plan leisure facilities, which has been very much in vogue with viewing areas over swimming pools and over the sort of courts, obviously from someone from a Muslim female perspective, that's not accessible. So it's the inaccessibility which we maybe need to address as well.
Okay, so just at the very sort of, you know, grassroots, getting involved in sport can be a problem for some people who take their faith very seriously. Because, as you say, you know, what you wear and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And that then extends right up to the top level. So people assume that, you know, therefore you won't be able to achieve great things in sport because you never went in the first place.
Absolutely. So if you look at it and you say, okay, on the one hand, facilities are inaccessible. You know, my dress might preclude me from taking part because, you know, I'm wearing a hijab or a putka, you know, and you know, I might be wearing some jewelry which has some religious significance, and I'm not sure how they're going to deal with that. And it's about, our work is about working with the sports providers. So we work with all the 46 national governing bodies of sports, so that's everyone from cycling to swimming to football, to equip their staff with the practical tools and knowledge to be able to engage people from black and minority ethnic backgrounds or from a faith background to participate in sport.
And tell me more about this FIFA decision not to allow the Iranian women's football team to take part if they wanted to wear headscarves.
Well, this is a strange decision because this isn't the first time that the Iranian team had worn a kit or similar kit and had participated in qualifying tournaments. So it seems a little bit strange, the message that FIFA is sending in terms of them wanting to sort of extend the reach of football around the world. They want to take it to new markets and new territories, as per the decision to award the 2022 World Cup to Qatar. So it seems very strange on the one hand to say we want to extend our game, and then on the other hand saying, but only on our terms can you participate. So I think the issue with the Iranian team as well, from what we can understand from looking at the reports, they had worn hijab, a modified hijab previously, and it's not clear if it's about the hijab or actually if it was about the football kit which was modified to come up around the neck, which is also something which is very common, you know, in terms of in swimming. There's modesty issues for females from a Muslim faith, so it's unclear as to why that decision was made. And what we sort of advocate is about, you know, not precluding participation, but trying to encourage participation. So having some flexibility as a sports provider or national governing body to work around that. And we have worked with other providers to how we can look to modify their sport or to address any safety concerns to make sure that the widest amount of participants can take part.
Because accessibility is one of the kind of key things about the Olympics. So the fact that we've got the Olympics and all this interest in the Olympics ought to be a springboard to getting more people involved from whatever background.
Absolutely, and I think that it's about, when we're working with a sports provider, so again that's a national governing body, it's about, okay, providing their staff, as I say, with the tools around cultural sensitivities, religious festivals, advice on, say, fasting. So, you know, if it's about Ramadan, it's about how we can make sure that people can still practice their faith, which is obviously very important to them, and participate safely. So, you know, accessibility, prayer rooms, just being flexibility, I think, is the sort of the key word we're talking about here. And if you try to be open and have some dialogue with your participants, then I think you can get everyone participating.
Really good to talk to you, David. Thank you for coming to the studio this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.